Commissioner, thank you, and it's great to talk with you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You've had an amazing career, working your way through the ranks up to being Commissioner of Police for the city of Cambridge. Tell us a little bit about that experience and your journey.
Yeah, I've really been blessed. I was actually put up for adoption at birth and spent my first year of life in foster care. And I remember growing up and feeling kind of really angry and resentful on one hand, but also grateful that I had a family. This is actually my entire kind of adopted family. This is my two kids with my mom at Christmas. And I remember wanting to be involved in social work, really wanting to, help young people struggling that do not have that family support, do not have what I was fortunate enough to have. But I also wanted a job that was going to pay the bills. Sure. And I remember thinking about police work as somewhat being a social worker, but kind of having some protection. So this is the shrine to my sons. We're raising two good boys.
Great. Are they thinking about law enforcement?
No, not at all.
No?
I talked to them, no. The time I was doing the background process to become a police officer, I remember talking to a group of young African-American boys. And they said, well, why do you want to be a police officer? They talked about how the police were mean to them, the police didn't like them. And really, Bob, from there I'm like, okay, if I become a police officer, I'm going to make a difference, particularly when it comes to how we engage with our young boys in particular, right? And how do we, first acknowledge the history of policing in this country and then work to heal some of the trauma and pain that has been generational.
So now you're in an important leadership role in law enforcement, and how do you help the department think about how they approach the community a little bit differently?
I got hired off a community policing grant 28 years ago, and what community policing was 28 years ago was really, I stop you and I arrest you or I give you a citation with a smile, right? That's not community policing.
Not at all.
What we need to do is we need to be out there, we need to be building trust and be kind of a connector of people to services, particularly people that are struggling. Our role is more about helping to improve people's outcomes versus putting them in the criminal justice system that isn't helping people.
I worked at the parole board, and there was an investigator who said to me, there's always a story behind the story. And, as I saw cases and got the background on people who were incarcerated in the adult system, I said, this starts when they're a juvenile.
It's interesting when I think about how much easier it is to provide supports to young children than it is to fix, broken men or broken adults, right? So really focusing in on how we can, provide better supports to our children growing up.